At the end of November, I was 13 books away from reading 100 books in a single year. So, I sanely decided that on top of everything else I was filming, I would also film a reading vlog, trying to get to my 100 book goal. And, well, you'll see if that worked out or not. I'm about to send you into a clip of me in the middle of Games Untold because, I did the stupid YouTuber thing and I deleted a couple of the starting clips, but they're not that important, it's fine. Real fast before I do that though, if you could please like this video and subscribe, because when we reach 10,000 subscribers, I will be doing a Colleen Hoover book recap / first reaction to ever reading a Colleen Hoover book, so I'll do it for y'all. I'll lose my sanity for y'all. Alright, go watch me desperately try to get to 100 books in a year. It is Thanksgiving Day. I just finished the biggest short story in here, which was on Avery's mom and her time. I'm not going to spoil anything. It was on Avery's mom. It was very, very interesting, and I really, really loved it. If you read the series, you can guess kind of what it's following. It's, ooh, so good. But I am now on the Libby and Nash story, and I know I am going to be giggling and kicking my feet and having the best time. Due to my disheveledness, it may look like it's early right now, but it's not. I'm just tired and cold. But this is a reading update, not a how cold is Natalie update. I finished 2 books since I've last checked in with y'all, which is Games Untold and The Christmas Tree Farm. And this is for a recap video. If you haven't seen that video already, you can go check it out. And then Games Untold was read for this video specifically, and it was really cute. There was some really cute lines, some fun stories. We got a Nash and Libby story. We got a story about Avery's mom, which is really good. I can't say anything more about that because it'll be a spoiler for earlier books. The first 2 stories in here are actually novellas. The one on Avery's mom is almost 200 pages long, so it's even longish for a novella. Then the rest in here are truly short stories. My only thing with this book is 2 of these short stories were already in Barnes & Noble exclusives, but those did come out a couple years ago, so I understand giving them to everybody else now and not just limiting them to only the people who got the Barnes & Noble exclusive multiple years ago. I got to read those stories years in advance. I'm not gonna be too mad about it. And there is some extra content in the back of this because this is the Barnes exclusive again. They always just have the best colorways of her books. The pink is so cute. I'm obsessed. Rightfully so. These books are just a good time. There's nothing to complain about. She is so good at pacing. All her books are so fast-paced. You are never bored. You're never like, this is dragging on a little bit. If anything, you're like, oh, whoa, we are going way too fast right now. But she still gives you enough time to sit with the characters. Just a masterclass on fast-paced and mystery writing. I love it. And then the book we're in the middle of right now is Where the Library Hides, which is another beautiful Barnes exclusive that I got just a couple days ago. And oh my word, this book is insane. I have not had a book this heavy on plot twist in a long time. This is the second book in the duology of What the River Knows. I think it's a duology, but where we are currently, I'm not sure how we're gonna wrap everything up in like 200 pages. 250 pages. There's time. I was reading this before I went to bed last night, and I went to bed absolutely heartbroken, and I am only 120 pages into this book. Like, I felt like somebody in my own life had betrayed me with how well the writing was done in this book on the betrayal that happens. I was not emotionally prepared for that. I was too stunned to cry, but I was tearing up. I felt like somebody in my life close to me had crushed my heart. And I was not expecting that book to do this to me. The vibes were so fun in the first bit, and now we're getting serious in part 2. I'm still trying to process everything I read. I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done today. It's a Saturday, and those end up being a busy editing day for me since I do work full-time, but I should have some time to read this. I have a migraine. Meds are working though, so. Take it off your bingo card for this video. Natalie got her migraine. If you don't know what the River Knows is about, this is a duology series mostly set in Egypt. It has some Indiana Jones vibes, but our character is she's from South America. It might be Argentina. I can't remember where exactly. But she's from there. She's visiting Egypt where her parents spent a majority of their time. She actually grew up with her aunt raising her because her parents were just in Egypt constantly, at least half of the year, if not more. But then her parents mysteriously go missing, presumed dead, so she goes to Egypt to try to figure out what happened with them. Her uncle, Ricardo, who's there, is not so happy she's there because obviously it's a little dangerous if her parents are missing or presumed dead at this point. So he's trying to get her back. But then there's also Wit, who works for Ricardo, that ends up helping Inez out a little bit. And it is a wonderfully done, slow burn romance, kind of enemies to lovers-ish. And we're just in a whole new phase of their relationship in this book. We're also getting a little more of Wit's background right now, which is really interesting. We're getting getting some more plot twist with what her parents were up to in Egypt. It is so much for the brain. I don't want to spoil anything. This is such a good series that is not talked about enough at all. And just beautiful writing. Beautiful, beautiful writing. I need to read some of her other stuff so bad, because I love this so much. But I think that is all for now. I'm also listening to a book. Again, we're trying, how many more books do I have to read? I need like 13 more books now, I want to say. And I'm in the middle of 2. I'm also reading Silver in the Bone, which has been interesting. I'm just getting into it. It's kind of the book I'm listening to while I'm doing other stuff. So I'm getting the story, but not as in-depth if I were sitting down reading or listening to it, you know? But I'm still enjoying it. It's fun. It's a more modern fantasy book. There's some really fun fantasy elements I haven't heard before, but we're also going into a bit of a King Arthur, not retelling? Maybe it is, but they've mentioned King Arthur a little bit, so that gives me a hint that maybe we're dealing with a little bit of a retelling there. Don't know. I didn't look into it too much before I started. I just know some people have read this book before. That's great. Some people have read this book before. That's why I read it. It looked like an interesting book. I wanted another little fantasy. I think after I finish these 2, I'm going back in to read Fourth Wing. Does that count? Because I already read it this year, so I don't know. I'm going to be reading that for a video though, so we'll see if I can get 13 more books done in about 31 days. I'm not too hopeful on this, but a girl can try. We're going to be doing audiobooks when I'm not reading. We're going to be reading when I'm not editing or reading for videos. I'm going to be cutting it real close, real close. I believe in myself. I believe. Get him. No football game loss can break my heart like this book did, like 100 pages in, so I think we're Gucci. Betrayal. I saw it coming a mile away, but more betrayal. No. This can't be right. Say hello to my newest 5-star book. I really enjoyed the first one in the series, which is What the River Knows, but it was only a 4-star. It was really good. I was expecting this to be around the same level of that. I really enjoyed the first one. Don't get me wrong at all in saying it's a 4-star. Still means I enjoyed it a whole lot. I loved it. But this one just takes all the momentum she built up in the first book and uses all of it so well. I have not been so invested in characters in a hot minute. Any emotions our main characters were feeling in this book, I was feeling as well. it was not just the highly emotional scenes I was feeling the joy, I was feeling the tears, I was crying with them. It's just something so, so special when an author can do that, and I'm so happy. Also, it makes sense why I love this book so much, because in the back here, to Rebecca Ross, my soul sister and critique partner, as ever, thank you for reading and brainstorming with me. Your friendship means the world to me. Like, of course, Divine Rivals owns my whole heart as well. A lot of books own my whole heart. Don't know how they all do that, but they do. I have not read anything like this before. It feels so different than everything I've read, and I've read almost 90 books this year already, which I feel like is saying quite a bit. In a YA adventure romance genre that is so overly saturated, this book truly stands out. And I don't have any higher compliment I can give to a book. Some of the quotes I have highlighted in here are just so freaking good. Oh my gosh. I wasn't tapping as much as the beginning because there's a lot of drama, a lot of plot twist. I was heartbroken at one point in this book. But she does a great job of telling the story and making you understand these characters and making you understand their truly complex reality that they're in. I have nothing bad I can say about this book. It was perfect in so many ways. And it was my, let me see, on Goodreads, I finished 5 stars, absolutely. I'm obsessed. Also, this only has 6,000 ratings on here right now. I need more people to go read this right now. This is my 88th book I've read this year. And it was unique and different, and it's just part of my soul now, I guess. There's also hints at there being a little spin-off series at the very end, so go ahead, start reading these because I can guarantee you're gonna love all her work to come, and she has some books she released previously, which I need to get my hands on. The special edition is supposed to get in tomorrow from Owl Crate, and I'll have to show you both of those because they are my favorite special editions I own. I'm gonna go keep reading Silver in the Bone, which is really good. I know it's not gonna compare to this book, but I'm still enjoying my time in Silver in the Bone, so hopefully it's good. I have a little Lego set I'm wanting to build. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I have about 5 hours left in the audiobook. I don't think I'll be able to finish it tonight, but I'll be able to get pretty darn close. I am the happiest person right now. I got my audiobook. I got a football game on mute. It's a snow game too. Win-win. I got a caffeine-free Cola Zevia. That makes me sound old. And I got my Harry Potter Lego to balance out the elder accusations. Or maybe it's the fact that I can't speak. You'd think I'm obsessed with Harry Potter with how many Lego Harry Potter things I have, but in fact, this is the only thing like slightly in my interest that Lego makes besides all the flowers and stuff. And like, who isn't slightly obsessed with Harry Potter, right? It's a childhood favorite for a reason. I think, okay, cool. I'm gonna build my Legos now. Actually, I think I'm really done. I'm not. I'm sorry. Dobby without his ears is a little bit terrifying. I've got Dobby. I've got his cake. And he's holding Tom Riddle's diary. That's all. I finished another book. 89 books down for the year. 11 more to go in less and less days every time I check in. It's totally fine. Totally fine. But before I give you an overview and my review of Silver in the Bone, I keep wanting to say Silver and Bone like Shadow and Bone. It's not that. I'm like embarrassingly sweaty from running down, getting my book that just came in, doing content stuff all in a sweater while the sun is pouring into this room. But look what came in. I just finished this book and it is here in the special edition form. This is Where the Library Hides from Owl Crate. I don't know if they have any copies still available. This isn't sponsored. I just want to talk about it because look how stunning. I am just so grateful I had the extra funds to be able to treat myself to this beautiful book. And then look at this. The end pages. I guess these are technically the start pages. Actually, let me show you. Stunning, 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 stunning. We got those, and then I'm gonna give you a slight spoiler warning I'm gonna show you a couple pictures that are scenes from later in the book. They don't really spoil what's going on exactly or that much of the story, but if you don't wanna know anything, skip to this time right now. Here's Inez going down. And then this is a reversible dust jacket. So you have Inez and Wit kissing here in one of the places they were exploring. Again, I'm just so grateful to have this in my hands. It has a note from the author and it's also signed as well. And then by pure luck, I found this at Half Price Books a little bit ago. So I have both of them from Owl Crate. I am just so happy. They were a lot of money to spend on 2 books, but so well worth it because this is a 5-star series. The first book was like a 4.5 and then the second book was a 5-star, like 6-star book. So a 5-star series altogether, and I just love it so much. I'm gonna have to redo my shelves to display those properly because, ooh, they're so pretty. But, books, we're talking about books. Well, we're talking about books I have read. I guess I did. We're talking about books I have read currently so I can get to my end of year goal. I'm citing so much. I'm so sorry. This is disgusting. I feel like it's such a girl thing to be like, I'm cold all the time, and I'm just not. It makes me feel less womanly. It's so stupid. Okay, anyways, sweaty girl. Sweaty girls, let's gather together. Kidding, don't do that. Okay, but we're actually here to talk about Silver in the Bone, which is the book I just finished this morning that I was listening to through an audiobook. It was so good. It started out a little slower. I really think you get into the meat of the story about 150, 200 pages in, which for a more complex fantasy world is not that abnormal, honestly, because there's so much world building that has to be done. In this book, you're following Tamsin, our main character. She is what we call a hollower. Basically, they hunt magical treasure, is what I should say. She hunts that with her adopted brother, Cabell, who also has a curse he's dealing with on the side. They're part of this group called Hollowers, and they're part of this specific Hollower guild. They kind of all work together, but not that well. They're just glorified thieves, really. They accept that, they know that's what they are. Tamsin and Cabell are just trying to get by, when at the end of one of their jobs, Tamsin gets them an offer to find this artifact that would basically set them up for life at this point, and they have been struggling for money for so long. So of course they decide to do that, and they start going on this journey. One problem, Mr. Rich Kid over here, whose father's in charge of the guild, is also trying to get this artifact. So we have a little rivals to lovers situation going on. Cabell has a lot of drama going on, a lot of stuff he's working through. Tamsin also has a lot of stuff she's working through. The character growth in this book is so fun to follow and something I really, really enjoyed about it. We see so much growth with our main character and just her learning to accept people into her life, even though it still doesn't always go right in the book, but you know, that's something for y'all to figure out if you want to read it. It's basically a magical Indiana Jones, but it's not in the same vibe of Where the Library Hides, which I just read, and I know I also compared to Indiana Jones. It's just not that same vibe, but they're treasure hunters. They're trying to find this magical treasure. It has much more of a Legend-born Shadow and Bones vibe, maybe? We have sorceresses. We also people just have this ability to be able to see magic. It's a very interesting world she built out, and I definitely will be listening to the second one. I haven't decided if I want that to be the next book I listen to. Don't really know, but I did enjoy it. I want to continue this series. I think I'm giving it, the ending was really good. It's so close to being a 4-star, but I would say 3.75. That just feels right. Like just below a 4-star. I would recommend this to people all the time if they're looking for a fantasy book. It's just not quite something I'm obsessed with, you know? But I like it. If you've read Legendborn and you're looking for something else, or if you've read Silver in the Bone and you're looking for something else, go ahead, read Legendborn. I think you would like it. But now we're going into, like I said, I think we're going into reading Fourth Wing, so we'll see. I don't know if that counts as reading another book, but I'm reading it so I can do a recap for y'all, which should be up by this time, and y'all better like it. I actually really enjoy Fourth Wing. It's the thing that got me back into reading, so I'm excited to dive back into the Fourth Wing world, but I also... I can be so honest and say that Fourth Wing is pretty cringy at times. So it's gonna make a fun recap, and I think going in depth and being really critical of it is going to drive me slightly insane. Even though it's fun to read, but it's one of those books if you start thinking about too much, which I feel like sounds bad. If you're looking for a serious book, it's not that. It's very CW-esque. I say that all the time. But people also still love CW shows, even though they know they're CW shows. You know what I mean? It's got its place in the book world, and I love it in that place, but it's also something I know I can probably pick apart and be pretty critical of and have a fun time going a little insane recapping it for y'all. So that's what we're about to do. It's probably going to be a while before I do another little update, and I need to find what book I'm reading after. Okay, I think that's all. I'm I'm gonna get out of this room that is baking me in the sun. Don't know why I decided to sit in here. Nobody forced me to, but I'm here. It's been a hot second since I've checked in with y'all. It's been a incredibly fast and slow reading week at the exact same time. That's because I finished this in the matter of 2 days. This is my first This is my first reread of this book. So this counted as my 90th book of the year, but it was also my first book of the year. So honestly, I mean, pretty iconic for her. It is December 5th and we have 10 more books I want to read. I started the sequel to Silver and the Bone. I've made it about 2 hours through on the audiobook so far, and I have about 16 more to go, so that's going slow. I have been working on just scripting out this frickin' plot, and I didn't notice how detailed this book was until I tried to recap it and not include every minor detail. Normally there's quite a bit I can cut from books when I'm recapping because it's just not that important, but there hasn't been much to cut. That happened. I also got sick for an entire day this week, like laying in bed on the couch, had to call out of work, which I did not want to do. Because we just did Thanksgiving and I was just on a trip. I haven't worked a full week in like 3 weeks now and I felt so bad. But I was literally sitting up, not able to focus on anything or able to talk to customers over the phone. Wasn't happening. So I had to take a full day off and I wasn't even up for reading. I was just dead on the couch watching who knows what. I think I was listening. Oh, you know what I did do for a bit that day? I did listen to the dramatized version of Red Rising, which you're probably going to hear so much about that because it is my new obsession. I don't think I'm going to be able to get through the whole book because I am just taking my time enjoying it in bits and pieces when I have some other time. But right now, what I think I want to do, because I've been in the middle of a fantasy gauntlet, as I would like to say, I want to do a little refresh, and then I want to read Aragon. I've teased Aragon for so long, but gosh darn it, I'm reading that book before the end of the year. So I'm in between 2 books right now. Let me grab them. I'm in between 25 books right now. I have The Housemaid for a mystery. I haven't read a Freida McFadden yet, and I also have Ona Out of Order. Which one of my friends got for me, and she said she really, really liked it, and it sounds really interesting. It's about this girl who on all of her birthdays, she just jumps to a different age. She can jump back or forth, so she never knows what age she's gonna wake up at. And I am so curious to see where the rest of this book goes, but also this is getting turned into a movie, and I've had it on my TBR for a very long time now. And I love mysteries, but am I in the mood for a mystery? I don't really know. This is kind of a mystery, but it's more sci-fi literary fiction, I think. And this is just straight up A+ mystery. So I don't know what I'm feeling. I need to pick one to read tonight, though. I have Siri to say, ooh, ChatGPT! That's absolutely the way to go. I know. We're not supposed to be feeding into AI, but I love my AI ChatGPT. I really do. It's a problem. I'm causing the downfall of humanity. Okay, it wanted to give me a whole bunch of reasons on why to pick one, and it said read The Housemaids. It's thrilling. Okay, I think I need that. This is gonna be chiller, which I'm excited to get, but I think I want to read this a little closer to Christmas. Maybe get a little cozier. I'm kind of in some winter cozy mystery vibes. This is not a cozy mystery. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit terrifying, but I think we're reading this. Well, I'll see. I'll come back if I change my mind. It is a very chilly afternoon. I got my snacks. And I am a little over 100 pages into this, and everybody has been so bright. This is very addicting to read and very fast-paced. I mean, look at the font size. It's big, but it is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I think it's thriller mystery. I don't really know what's going on, but we're having a great time. And yes, I'm still wearing the same sweater from yesterday because I rewear sweaters a lot. I'm gonna keep reading. I'll give you updates soon. I still feel like I'm getting into it, but it's been interesting the whole time, so I'm not complaining about the pacing. It's been really good. There's been a couple times where my heart's gone woo, and honestly, I'm just here for the drama right now. There's more drama in this book than I thought there would be, and I can't lie, I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm watching, like, the OC with the dramatic levels. I don't know. Also, how are there, but my question, there's 4 of these books now? How?
maybe I'll figure it out. I'm real suspicious of some people right now who aren't having suspicion put on them, so now I'm suspicious of them. That's not how you speak. Anyways. Girl, no! Oh, I saw this coming from a mile away! Normally I don't like this kind of drama, but something about this is fun, and... Oh, this is bad. This is a really, really good mystery, y'all. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm having fun. I didn't know it.
Oh, girl. Okay, I just finished this. I read this in all of my free time today and absolutely loved it. I see the hype. I also see why I would want to read the other books because yeah, I'm gonna have to pick those up. This was so much fun to read. Little disturbing at times, absolutely. Don't get me wrong on that. I enjoyed reading the book, but it was also disturbing. I feel like that makes me sound like a bad person. This is a different type of mystery than I thought it was, and I'm so glad it is. Character building in here was so good. The twists and turns, I could see a few of them coming, but there were still some, like, reveals on top of the reveals that were really, really, really good. And I really appreciated that. Everything was wrapped up in a nice bow. It leaves you on a good little cliffhanger. So if you want to read the next book, you can, but you're not really going to miss out on anything if you don't want to read more in the series. But I want to read more in the series, like, real bad right now, because this was fascinating. I'll be interested to see if the rest of the series can live up to this one, because it's such a unique concept that I'm interested to see how it plays. But it's gonna be like the John Wick movies, where John Wick is always just killing a bunch of people, you know? Does that make sense? It's gonna be like the John Wick movies, where you have the same plot, but you enjoy it every time, because there's a lot of action and stuff going on. Slight overview of this without spoilers is you're following a housemaid that was newly hired into this home where the wife seems absolutely crazy, the husband seems perfect, and the kid is also a little off. But she just needs a job. She's fresh out of prison. This job pays well, and her room is in a creepy attic. And you just go on from there. You go on from there on a very interesting journey. One thing I'm shocked about with this book, it's actually completely closed door, which makes me so happy. It would be really disturbing if it wasn't, but luckily it's completely closed door, which seems like a rarity to find nowadays. Still a more adult book, but closed door, so we can celebrate that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with adult topics. I just don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of what you're doing in the bedroom, you know? I wish I had the next book. Gosh darn it. I haven't felt like this in a while, where I just want to pick up the next book right now. So we may see more of this in we may see another one of these books soon. Who knows? I am still working on the sequel to Silver in the Bone, which I think I may have like 6 hours left or so on. I want to say that's right. I don't have a ton of time left on that one. 6 hours seems like a lot, but it's really not. It'll go by so fast. I don't have my phone on me to check, so I might listen to some of that tonight, but I also might start another book. 91 books down, 9 more to go. Forgot to say, star rating. The problem is I don't know. I get popular books, and when I like them, I'm like, do I just like them because it's a popular book, so I don't want to rate it 5 stars? Like, I enjoyed the entire time I read this. I enjoyed the whole book.
I have no problems with it. The only reason I want to rate it 4.5 stars is so I don't seem like every other girl, and that's a stupid reason to do that. So I'm gonna rate it 5 stars. Part of my soul is feeling 4.5, but the logical and the other part of my soul is thinking 5 stars. In mystery book category, it's 5 stars. Compared to like fantasy books and stuff like that, not 5 stars, if that makes sense. There's different rating systems for all of them. Fantasy is in a different tier than this, but like I'm rating it 5 stars for a mystery. But I have decided, if you've been watching this channel, I'm finally reading Aragon. We're doing it. I'm gonna go pick up the book right now. I have an audiobook as well. I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna highlight, I'm gonna tab. We're going crazy with this one. If this book is not my next obsession, I might be disappointed. So I'm probably gonna end up disappointed because that's a lot of pressure to put on a book, but oh well. This is because of y'all. No, I don't. It's because of my sister. That's what it is. Everybody says I'm gonna love this book, so I better. You're telling me Aragon isn't the dragon's name? Does this not imply that Aragon is this dragon's name? Dragon better have a better name than Aragon anyway, so it's fine. Okay, well, I did finish Aragon. I liked it. I liked it. I'm not as obsessed with it as I thought I would be, but I was getting into it by the end of the book. So I think the rest of the series is gonna show a lot more promise and have me invested. But this truly felt like the start of a D&D campaign where you're just going from like city to city. I've never played D&D, but you're just going from like city to city, getting different tasks, meeting these new characters, finding out the big task in this adventure that you're going to be completing, and then by the end of it, we are at a starting point for the main adventure. This was like, it felt like the prequel to Aragon. I don't know if that makes any sense. I thought I was gonna come on here saying I absolutely love it, and I just don't quite yet. I don't hate it. I really don't. I enjoyed my time. It's very cozy. It's a cozy book. It's a good time. I actually ended up just listening to it a lot more than I thought I would. I was doing like a dot-to-dot book while I listened to this, and I really enjoyed that. Something about his writing is really easy to listen to, but can kind of get boring when I read it. I also think reading it right after I read Fourth Wing was a mistake, because Fourth Wing is like high stakes, very easy reading, very fun, very fast, and this is a much more serious, thought out fantasy. But Fourth Wing is also a very thought out fantasy. There are so many Easter eggs I picked up on my second time reading that. I already knew I loved that book though, so let's try not to compare that to Aragon. They're very different. They both have dragons, but besides that, they're very, very different books. I don't have much else to say. Aragon, it's about a dragon rider who figures out he's a dragon rider and then goes on an adventure to a bunch of towns, probably starting a revolution. What can we say? We're joining the rebellion, I should say. Death, destruction, fear. It's going to be a great time. But now I'm just finishing up the Beast and the Mirror and the Beast, the Mirror of the Beast. The Mirror of the Beast is what I'm finishing up right now, which I only have about 3-ish hours left of listening to that. So that should be done pretty soon. I'm about to start filming for the Fourth Wing deep dive, which is going to take up a lot of my time this week. But I'm thinking maybe we still try to get 2 more books done. I'm thinking either Out of Order or The Housemaid. I think both of those will go by pretty quick. This is also barely over 300 pages. And then I got the second book of The Housemaid, not rereading The Housemaid. That would be a little insane. But I did get the second book of The Housemaid, and I'm very excited to read that because it was just a fun, easy mystery
got a little dark, but not too dark. I appreciated it. Right now, I think I need to go prioritize taking a shower to wash my greasy hair, though. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna wake up a little. It's the afternoon. It's just cold in the house, so I am still very sleepy. And I'm also overwhelmed thinking about all the work that goes into recaps, and I was just scheduling for YouTube, and I was like, I'm running out of ideas. So, you know, what's a girl to do? I'm running out of ideas, and yet I still don't have enough time in a year to do all the recaps I want to do. I don't know. I don't know. What is this vlog? This is going to be an hour long. Oh. Well, how are y'all doing? Midway check-in point, maybe? I don't know. How many books have I read so far in this video? More than any other video, that's for sure. I'm enjoying it, I think. Okay. I need to stop talking to y'all. I'm going to go figure stuff out. I also think I need to redo my bookshelves because I film in front of the one here now, and it used to just be my TBR shelf, but I want it to now look better for vid. There may be a bookshelf video out. If there is, go check that out. I don't know. Book number 92 for the year is done. No. 93 for the year. Sorry, I finished book number 92 and 93 today. I thought I was gonna start filming for this tonight, but it takes forever to get those printed out, cut out, and taped up to the wall. It always takes way longer than I think, and I've done it almost 10 times now. You would think I would have learned. I haven't. But I think I'm gonna get started on another book here. Kind of want something to physically read. I don't know. I'll update you when I decide. The Mirror of Beast, I'm gonna give a solid 4 stars. It was a fun little sweet duology. I found family, all the relationships, everything like that, and it was really good. I have no complaints there, honestly. Storyline for duology was good. I honestly thought this was going to be a 3-book series, and so when it started like getting to the conclusion at the end of this book, I was very confused about what was going on there for a second. But it actually worked out well. Anyways, I'm gonna go find another book to read, and I will update y'all when I am started on book number 94 for the year. So, let me explain something real fast. I came in here to do my hair hours ago, and I made a little clip, and I was like, I'm reading this book, Tom Lake. Let me tell you about this book, except I had the audio on mute. So there is no clip that you saw of that at all, because it looked like this. Natalie, don't delete the clip because it's useless. You have to use it now. Okay, thank you. So anyways, I'm not reading Tom Lake anymore because I already finished it because it was a really fast, really fun audiobook narrated by Meryl Streep, and I have very few complaints with that book. 4 stars all around. But let me tell you a little bit about it. Let me sell you on reading this book because I really freaking enjoyed it. I really, really did. For literary fiction, I'm trying to find more literary fiction because that is the most lacking area of my bookshelf, book knowledge. This one was about a mom telling her daughters all about this summer where she dated this famous actor before he was famous, because she was an up-and-coming actor at this time as well. She's not anymore. She lives on a farm with her daughters. She's telling them all the story during COVID while everybody is home because the world is on fire. We all lived through that, right? I, first of all, didn't know this was set in 2020, and most 2020 media I don't love, but this one was actually done pretty well. It caught me a little off guard and got me tearing up once they mentioned they were in 2020. I was like, ooh. Apparently there's some trauma there that I haven't really dealt with yet, but who's got time to deal with that? We all went through it. We're all a little traumatized. It's fine. That's the main thing of that book. It was so heartwarming, so good. I felt like I was one of Meryl Streep's kids. I think, the booktuber Sarah Corelli, I think that's how you say her name. She mentioned that when she was reading it a while ago, and it always kind of struck me, and I was like, oh, I don't know what that means. And now I know what that means because she was totally right on that. But now I think I started Ender's Game, and I just don't know if I'm in the mood for the best way to describe this is old man writing, where it's just an older man who wrote the book, or it was written a while ago by a man. It's just, there's a certain vibe, okay? And it's not bad. I'm just not always in the mood for that vibe. So I think I'm gonna just listen to that for a bit while I get ready to film for the Fourth Wing breakdown,
because I don't know what else to listen to, and that one's only gonna take me a little over 5 hours because it's an 11-hour audiobook, and I listen to everything on 2 times speed. Or sometimes 2.5, but this one needs 2 times speed. But I'm gonna do this book. I'm gonna see how I feel about it. It's been sitting on my shelf for years, and at this point I just need to hunker down and get through it. I'm not gonna DNF it. We're gonna spaceship our way through. Plow, I don't know. This is very different from the movie already, which I watched like one time. And I know it was not accurate because everybody who had read it was like, this is a bad adaptation. But I think I'm liking this more. I feel like the plot twist of the movie, though, you're informed of very fast here. It's interesting. I don't hate that vibe. I also haven't watched the movie in forever, so who am I to say? I'm gonna stop talking, get ready, listen to my audiobook, film a video. I feel like half of this vlog is just me not looking ready for the day. This is my actual day-to-day life. Hi! I finished Ender's Game this morning. I didn't think I was going to give it 5 stars, but then I was thinking about how much I enjoyed it and the plot twist, and everything like that in that book, and it was just really, really well done, and I couldn't help but give it 5 stars. I think we only have 5 books to read now. I know I'm reading Iron Flame at some point. I'm reading the Book of Doors as well here soon. I'm doing that kind of as a buddy read book club thing, so I need to get that done. I just saw Tress of the Emerald Sea has a dramatized adaptation on Audible. I'm the opposite of a mood reader. I need somebody to just sit me down and tell me exactly what book to read. I'm gonna have y'all choose. I'm going to YouTube. If you follow me on YouTube, if you're subscribed, and just keep an eye out for community posts, because I will be asking questions there sometimes, and sometimes they might be about books I need to read for videos. A lot of the times they're about that because I want y'all's opinion on it. So I'm gonna ask y'all, I'm gonna put a few in there and read whatever y'all want me to. Okay, I know I said y'all were gonna pick the next book I read, and I did start it today. But I made the mistake of starting the second Housemaid book, and I am currently 236 pages in. I don't know what to tell you about that. I think I'm finishing this one before I finish. Oh, the ones y'all picked is Tress of the Emerald Sea over here. I started that. It's really good on audio, and I also ordered the physical book, because who doesn't want a Brandon Sanderson physical book? And also that cover is gorgeous, and I'm so excited to sit there and read it. The narrator is so good. I feel like the kid from The Princess Bride with my grandpa telling me a story or something. I love it. It has big Princess Bride energy. More of the movie vibe than the book vibe, I would say. But I'm really, really liking it. It's like, it's just perfect for this time of year. You're following this girl. It's a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of magic. They may be on another planet. Not really sure. I think we're just in a fantasy world. This is a book, if I'm not mistaken, that he originally just wrote for his wife, which is just so cute. And the fact that he published it, or that she loved it enough and wanted him to publish it for the rest of us, is just precious. And I'm so thankful because I'm already loving it so much. And this book, sequels to mysteries, honestly, I love them. We're following one of the characters in the last book here as well, which is great. She does this thing in this series where we get one character's point of view for a majority of it, and then we switch over to another character's view to kind of hear how the whole plot went down, and I love it so much. I can't say too much about this without spoiling the first one. Just know that Frida McFadden will probably be a regular occurrence on this channel now, because I really like it. I doubt I'll get through all of her books because she has a ton. She's also a practicing physician specializing in brain injuries. So I don't know how she has time to write all of these and work on people's brains, but pop off, I guess. Anyways, I know there's already like one more of these out and then a little novella. Tomorrow, though, I have a couple errands to run, and I want to go to Barnes to buy a physical copy for the 100th book I will read this year, which I'll probably need to get soon, which will honestly
probably be well before the end of the year. I thought I was going to be struggling on through, but I have this. I have Tress of the Emerald Sea, and then I have the Book of Doors, which is only like 400 pages long. I also have an audiobook for that, so it should go by really fast. I'm rereading Iron Flame, and then we'll finish off this video with whatever I pick out tomorrow at Barnes. I do need to get Iron Flame back from my sister-in-law, who has had it for most of the year and still hasn't read it. The betrayal. I'm not mad. She takes good care of my books, and I can get them back whenever, but I need her to read this to get to the plot twist. My word! Onyx Storm is coming out in a month. Does she not know this? Oh, also, while I was listening to Tress a little bit, I did a dot to dot of a lobster. There's still some dots to finish, but this is my lobster. He's your lobster. I don't know what book I'm thinking of getting tomorrow. Like, no clue. I'm going in with just vibes. We're gonna look at the display tables. I want it to be something good for the last book of the year. I may look for something sci-fi. I don't know. I also feel like my books sitting on my TBR shelf in the other room are just sighing right now, the fact that they've been there all year, and I'm like, no, I need a brand new book to finish out the year. I want it to be like a little reward. I read 100 books this year, or I will have. Cut to a reading montage, and then cut to me going to Barnes & Noble. That's probably gonna be it. Or freaking out over the end of this book, because some of the plot twists have been so good in this one. Dare I say, this is better than the first one. Dare I say. Like, I kind of knew the vibe I was getting into, but I feel like the plot twists have been just as good, if not better. So, I don't know. Okay, anyways, the camera's gonna die. I need a new battery. I'll talk to y'all. Reading montage. Let's go. And in Barnes, and I don't know. I also need to find my pinky nail. It's gone. What happens at the end of these clips? Why do I just combust into rambling? It's like I won't be able to talk to y'all again, but I will. Okay, reading montage. Calm down, girl. Five stars? 5 stars. Oh, I feel like I should also mention I finished that book in a day. This was a one-day book right here. I was also working today, so I didn't have all that much free time. I know there's probably some people who say everything is obvious, but I just go with the vibes when I'm reading mysteries, and this one is a great book to go with the vibes on, and just plot twist after plot twist after plot twist. I thought we were done and just wrapping up the story, and she would throw in another one. Multiple. Who knows? I may end up reading the third one here soon, because these are addicting. Plan is finish Tress of the Emerald Sea next, then Book of Doors, and then I'm rereading Iron Flame to go ahead and highlight that for a recap video. I'm not 100% if I'm doing that. That kind of depends on how Fourth Wing goes, because Iron Flame is going to be a beast of a recap. I'm going to highlight it like I'm going to recap it, but I want to reread it anyways before Onyx Storm, because that was a really big book. And that was one of the second
That was the second book. And then most of Christmas week I'm going to be busy, so we need to get a lot of the reading done this week. My dog's eating in the background if you can hear that. But before we go, I pulled Tress of the Emerald Sea out of the Amazon package and I was like, wow, there's no damage on it. Imagine my shock when I turn it over to look at the front cover and this is what I see. It's not bent. This is just sliced off. These sliced parts were in the packaging. It goes through the front cover and the second or the first page in here. I don't know how this happens. I didn't cut open the bag with scissors or nothing. I don't understand. Anyways, I'm gonna have to return it. Oh my word, the slice goes through so much more of the book than I thought it did. Look, you can see the crevice. That's insane. Anyways, I don't even think this was a packaging problem, but Amazon, I feel like you would save so much money if you just took slightly better care of your books. Okay, let's go buy an undamaged book at Barnes & Noble. I already got the return process started on this, so I'll return it and get a new one here soon. I know they're just gonna send this to one of those centers where it gets sold for like dirt cheap after, so whoever gets this copy, let me know. Guys, the Barnes & Noble is packed. I'm still recording. We're putting my social anxiety to shame today. I have never seen this many cards here. The book girlies had so many books on their Christmas wish list. Barnes & Noble is packed. Also, if you haven't seen mine before, it's still an old classic Barnes & Noble. It has not been modernized. So, if you're not used to that, come enjoy. Because I love it. I just need to accept I'm getting many strange looks, and that's okay. Okay, listen, I've been in the mood for literary fiction. Or just fiction in general, I guess. I don't know. Kristen Hanna? Oh, shut up. Certain book? I love her. I'm pretty confident this is our book. I'm gonna keep looking though. So cute. So excited. How did I not know this exists? Okay, there's a chance you fall down at any second here, but... Oh, oh, no, you're sliding. You're sliding. Oh, no. Okay, you're balanced really precariously right now, but this is written by the same author who write... Are you okay? Okay, we're back. You're not broken forever like I thought you were for a second. But as I was saying... This is the same author who wrote What the River Knows. And if you don't remember from earlier, I love those books. And this one's about a dragon fighter, which I don't know how I feel about that. I'm hoping maybe they make friends with the dragons because, like, do they fight on dragons? Are they fighting the dragons? I don't know. But also, this cover is stunning. This also gives me, like, big Prince Zuko energy right here for some reason. It's probably just because... the character is completely red on the cover. But big Prince Zuko energy right there. Anyways, I wanted to find a book that I didn't know a ton about. And that's why I didn't pick up a couple others that I've been wanting to read for a longer time because I know I'm going to read them. I wanted to go in, find a random book. I know I like this author. I just don't know anything about this book besides what the back said briefly. I'm excited. I hope it's good. This was published before What the River Knows. So this is the last one she published before that one. I think What the River Knows was kind of her breakout. I could be totally wrong in saying that. That's when I heard of her. So I'm happy to go through her backlog for one of my final books of the year because her books are so good. I'm so excited to get into this. I know she may break my heart again, and that is okay, and I will say thank you. Okay, I'm gonna do what else? I'm gonna do the other things I have to do real fast, and then get home and keep reading Tress. It's gonna be a minute till we see this book again. Got that founding father ponytail. You have the aesthetic book bloggers, and then you have me. If you're wondering why the lighting is horrible in here, it's because of that. We don't talk about it. I'm gonna put on the audiobook and we gonna cook. Except I'm just really chopping some potatoes and tossing them in olive oil and some seasoning, throwing those in the pan, and then I'm doing the same to carrots and some sausage. That's all. I'm a great chef, what can I say? Who doesn't leave cabinet doors open? I finished Tress of the Emerald Sea. Dare I say, a 6-star read? I think it might be. Finding a story that has stakes but isn't that serious, it's funny, there's jokes throughout it, there's moments where I just get a big smile on my face. It was so good, so heartfelt. I'm so glad this book is out to the public because, yeah, I think it's such a solid, well-rounded book and something different than what I personally read. I don't know if there's more books really like this, but something different than I personally read a lot, and I really enjoyed it. Just the narration style of it was so good. I think the audiobook added a lot to it. I was really confused why it was a male narrator at first when the story was about a girl, because normally, even if it's like a third-person story, you're gonna have a female narrator for a female main character. But it was because the guy was telling the story, so it all made sense. It was also magical and fun and good and cozy. The plot twists were good. It was just so solid. I feel like everything Brandon Sanderson does is pretty solid, but this was just, I love good books. I love good books. I've been on such a roll with good books lately. I feel like I was kind of in this phase for a while where I was getting like 3-star reads, 3.5. And after so many 3 stars, it doesn't mean I didn't like them. It's just you need that special magic at some point to remind you why you absolutely love reading and it's not just something you do to pass the time, you know? But 3 stars aren't bad. Just a lot of them in a row without a 4 or 5 star is not as fun. So, this was book number 97. Yeah, that's right. That would be right. I'm starting the Book of Doors tonight. It's only 7:30 right now. I actually may head over to a coffee shop that is open later around here. And thank goodness, Goodreads actually updates your reading challenge as you add more books, because they sent it to me and I was like, I'm still reading for the year. So right now, 97 books with 4,898 pages read. I think I just gotta go start Book of Doors right now. I don't know anything about this. When I can, I avoid reading the backs of books. And normally, even if I read the back of a book, I just wipe it out of my memory. And I go, well, I bought the book. I knew I was gonna like it. This one is for a book club, so I gotta get it read. I also need to put my nail back on. Never one fell off. Again, I'm not too careful with my nails. Anyways, I gotta get that one read. I have Iron Flame. I'm either gonna get it from my sister-in-law first, or I ordered another copy because it was on sale on Amazon. So it's a little bit of a gag gift. I'm giving that to her for Christmas. I feel like it's a passive-aggressive gift, but I know she's actually gonna appreciate it, so I don't feel bad. It's just really funny to me. My love language is giving books when I know people will actually enjoy them. I love giving people books. Anyways, I got that one, and then for my niece who reads, I got her A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is all coming out after Christmas time. Obviously, you're seeing this after Christmas, but I got her that. I'm so excited. This is so good. I love being the bookworm of... I'm the bookworm of my husband's side of the family, at least. So they know to come to me for any suggestions on anything, which is amazing. My side of the family are all really, really big readers already. I love it. Like, I grew up, my mom would read chapter books to me when I was around probably like 6 to 11, somewhere in there. We would read a couple chapters of like Narnia, Percy Jackson. There was a dragon book. I think that started the obsession. Those are the best times. I think this is why I like audiobooks so much. It's also because I can actually do stuff. So I got some stuff to do. I think I want to reorganize my bookshelves this weekend. I don't know if I've already said that, but I think I'm going to do that, which should be a little like shorter random main channel video I put out there. So if you haven't already seen that, go ahead, check that out because I'm sure it will be out. So here, let me show you. That bookshelf over there is what I film in front of all the time. Problem being is it used to just be my TBR shelf because I didn't film in front of there. I filmed in this spot more than anything else. But now that I film in front of there for TikToks or just sit down videos, stuff like that, I want to just show my actual book taste. And I enjoy ACOTAR. I just wouldn't say it's like my favorite book of all time. It might stay up there. I think it's probably going to go in my living room shelf, which is what people see when they come over. But I'm kind of a hermit and I don't have a lot of people coming over because most people I know have houses. So we just go over there instead. Working on it. I have a couple piles organized because I just randomly will have a bunch of books on the floor after I filmed book recommendation videos. Anyways, I think I might do that tomorrow. We have to do a little Christmas shopping at Target, but I think we might try to do that like early Saturday to avoid the crowds. Why am I telling you my whole life right now? I don't know. I actually don't know. Okay, gonna start Book of Doors. I think we might go to a coffee shop to start that. They close at 9. It's 7:30 right now, so I feel like if I stay there for like 40 minutes or so, I won't be intruding. I like to leave places at least 30 minutes before they close or I feel bad. Honestly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive there and see if more people are there, and if nobody else is sitting in that freaking coffee shop, I'm getting a coffee to go. That's the plan. Hi, as you may notice, I forgot to take you to the coffee shop, but I did get some clips on my phone. Just not many because, once again, I was one of the few people in there. But it's fine. I'm getting over my social anxiety. I mean, flashback to the whole Barnes trip we just did. I did so good there, I think. Anyways, I started the Book of Doors. I started the Book of Doors. And I am intrigued so far. I never learn, apparently, though, because... You're at a weird angle. I started this book and I was like, it's pretty slow. I don't really see where the plot could go from here. As soon as I said that, the next chapter introduced the plot. Like, literally introduced the actual plot. And I was like, oh, I see now. I was in the coffee shop going like, are you guys hearing this too? I was, in fact, the only one hearing this, but I wanted to know. Also, I had my AirPods in, but I paused them to just check my text messages or something at one point, and they were talking about the books they used to read, and it was so cute. I was like, books. We all love books. I don't know. It was just really, it was a wholesome moment. It was so cute, but it also made me realize I am being perceived, and I don't like that. Anyways, this book has been interesting so far. Let me just double check the back of this. So, she gets this book from this guy. No, actually, sorry, let me tell you the other weird thing that happened, and then I'll cut to the clips of me at the coffee shop, which is just one clip of me being terrified, because I don't go to read in coffee shops that often. It's not something I get around to doing. I need to do more, but I just don't, because I'm a homebody. But the first little bit of this book, like the first paragraph includes, in Kellner Books, on the Upper East Side of New York City, a few minutes before his death, John Webber was reading The Count of Monte Cristo. He was sitting at his usual table in the middle of the store with his overcoat folded neatly over the back of his chair and the novel on the table in front of him, exactly how I was sitting. I was spooked. It's like, what do you mean? Is this a prophecy? Am I gonna die? It was kind of a coincidence that I ended up starting this book in the coffee shop, though. It was pretty cute. He was in like a coffee shop bookstore. That's not where I was at. I'm sorry if you're shaking a lot. I have you on the bed. Anyways, I'm just getting into it right now. Girl's got a magical book. There's a secret society. There's a mysterious she. People have died to get more books. There's a lot of magical books, actually. People have multiple, but she has a really powerful one. So that's the premise right now. This dude, I think he's going to be like an older mentor. I think this is not going to be a romance book at the time. I don't think that's not what it's feeling like. It's feeling like sweet old man mentor, unless I'm completely misjudging this situation, and then it's going to be real weird later show. I'm just going to keep on listening / reading, and we're going to find out. Can I be real honest? Can I be so honest? I'm a little confused. I don't know what's going on. We've now got 7 POVs and 70 pages. Most of those were spent with one lady, so like 40 of those were with our main girl, Cassie, and now all these other random characters are coming in, wanting page time as well. And you know what? I was happy with my main girl, Cassie, and our other guy that popped up, but now there's too many of y'all. It's good. It's really good. It's Is it cozy? I don't know. See, I call things cozy fantasy, but I don't know if I'm actually correct on that. Are you supposed to be cozy the whole time you read cozy fantasy? I don't know. I'm confused, but I'm only 70 pages in, so I'm sure by page 200 I'll know what's going on. Here's the great thing about audiobooks is I can listen to them and put on the new fake nails, because I lost one that I didn't have a replacement of today. Pretty bad. So that's what we're gonna do. Ooh. It's dark. Remember that time I said this was a cozy fantasy? I lied. I didn't know I was lying, but I lied. There was things in the things, and now it all makes sense why the things were the things. I got one nail on, and then you can't even see it. And then potato skins were ready, so we're taking a break and eating. I am so tired right now. Just trying to finish up this book. I think I have like an hour less. An hour? I have less than an hour in listening time. It's technically 2 hours and 33 minutes, but I'm listening at 2.5, blah, blah, blah. How many times can I say I listen to books fast? Anyways, I think I'm going to listen to a little more of it here. Maybe change and go to the coffee shop again because I am exhausted. I can't get caffeine because my body does not handle caffeine well. But I can at least be out, maybe even sit outside. It's 51, but if I bring a jacket, I think we'll be fine. Maybe we do that. I'm gonna listen to at least this chapter and then we'll decide. Don't mind the Chick-fil-A bag. We eat there for breakfast a lot, honestly, so. On the weekend. Blinded by the lights. I finished the Book of Doors. This was such a surprise, honestly. I had no clue what this was about going into it with most books I read, but I didn't have high expectations, if I'm being completely honest, but this was so good. I think I've landed on a 5-star rating. It's right between a 4.75 and a 5-star, but it's unique, it's different. I really, really loved it. I really did. I messed up the spine on it. Oops. In this book, you're mainly following Cassie, but you have a lot of other characters you're following as well, and you get their POV a lot, which I really do enjoy. It was so good. I know I had a complaint about there not being the names on top of it, but he normally said the name within the first sentence or two, so it was fine. I made my peace with it, I accepted it, and I just enjoyed the ride of this book. But Cassie is a completely normal girl until one day she gets her hands on this magical book of doors, which basically means any door is every door. So she could go through one door at her house and get to a restaurant many, many miles away. So she deals with that. They slowly uncover this entire world of magical books, and we see all the different powers. We get our characters from that side of thing. There's people called book hunters that are just kind of looking for them because they're very valuable, like tens of millions of dollars. If you can get one of these books to sell, you're set for life. And then you also just have the people that are trying to protect these books and keep them safe and keep them out of the wrong kind of people's hands, who we have one of those people who is our main antagonist in this book. There's actually two, but kind of still just one. You'll get it if you read it. There's no spice in this. There's very, very little romance in it. It's just like, a little hee-hee, they might get together after the book ends, you know? So it was just different and so fun and loved it. It's set in modern times. It's great. I had no complaints. It was heartfelt. It was good. The dialogue was great. There was some really beautiful lines in here. I need to go back and tab them. I don't know why I didn't have my tabs on me for this one, but I need to go back, find my highlighted spaces, and tab them because this was just a treat. It really was. But now, we're going to jump back into Iron Flame. Actually, what's going to happen now is I'm going to film some stuff, and then I'm going to a Christmas event tonight. Maybe I'll take you all along for that. Who knows? I need to get started on Iron Flame, and then we have a nice short book to finish out our 100-book reading goal, which is crazy. And honestly, I feel like I might be able to get to a couple more. We'll see. We're already on the 20th, so maybe don't go too crazy, because I want to film some stuff, edit, blah, 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 blah. I've said this all before. To Iron Flame we go. Back to the Fourth Wing world, which I really enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it like I'm going to do a recap. I think I probably will end up doing a recap on it, so that should be out at some point. Alright, I will catch up with y'all, most likely after I'm done with Iron Flame. I might give you an update in the middle of there. Who knows? But there's going to be a whole video on that, so you'll be fine. Well, Merry Christmas. It's Christmas right now. It's definitely not Christmas for y'all. Probably closer to Happy New Year. But I've officially started the 100th book of the year, or my 100th read, because I did double read. I read 2 books twice. But on Goodreads, it counts as the 100th book of the year, so that's what I'm calling it. This is Together We Burn by Isabel Ibanez? Ibanez? I am so bad with last names, and I am so sorry. I started this book. I have an audiobook for it, which is great, but also really confusing when the audiobook was recorded a few years ago, and then they added bonus content in the middle of it. It's not in the back of the book. Like, they just straight up chucked it in the middle of this book, which is fun because it's a different POV, but it's also really confusing when you're reading the audiobook and looking at a page that doesn't make any sense. This is an audiobook from my library. I don't know what's going on with the other ones, but anyways, I'm happy for more content. I just have to pause it every once in a while to read his POV, but I am loving this. This one didn't get super popular, and I think they've republished it after the success of Where the Library Hides, or after the success of What the River Knows and Where the Library Hides, with a new cover that kind of matches that tone, and just kind of rebranding some of her books, which I'm so on board for because her writing is just as good in this. The world we're in right now is it's really interesting coming to this world after Fourth Wing, where dragons are like the top of the food chain there, and in here they're the top of the food chain, but they also capture them and fight them in arenas, like bullfights would happen with like the red scarf, stuff like that. You have professional dragon fighters, and they clip their wings so they can't fly, and it's a little weird coming from a book where you love the dragons to where they're the enemy, but I understand it. I could also see how this book could take a shift where she doesn't see the dragons as the enemy at the end of this. I don't know.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I'll be okay either way, but so far I'm liking it. The character's really good. We've been thrown right into a lot of actions. Dragons are escaping when they're not supposed to be. They're causing havoc. Her parents are dying. And I think there's going to be a little bit of an enemies to lovers situation in here. I'm sure it's going to be more rival to lovers. Maybe this is only like a 350 page long book, if that. And this is the only book in the series of what I know. This is just a one-off fantasy, which there are not enough of. I'm going to keep listening. We're going to keep going. And yeah. Merry late Christmas, or Merry Christmas of whatever year you're watching this around Christmas. If you're watching this around Christmas for some reason, that's really random. Crazy that I knew. Do this. Also, I finished Fourth Wing. I ended on a 3.5 star for my reread. I had it a 4 star, so it really didn't go down that much. The last bit of that book really saves it. The battle in the end is so good. The character building moments are really good. It's just the first 300 pages of that book needed to be edited so bad. So bad. Oh my word. Anyways, Onyx Storm is coming out in less than 30 days now, so hopefully that's a little better. Hopefully. Whew. Okay, let's go read. Never mind. I'm going to go take care of my pump. Hi, the type 1 diabetic now has insulin going into her body again, so I'm over my temper tantrum. I fixed it. Back to reading after having to be my own nurse. Alright. Her stories feel more like mystery set in a fantasy world, and I am obsessed. There's some other fun fantasy elements, but this one is feeling a lot like What the River Knows, where we're mainly focusing on this mystery, almost like murder mystery. It's so good. I'm sorry, y'all. The brawling. Toe to toe with a furious cat. I'm done. You should not be happy to see him. I only have like 150 more pages to go in this book. It is so good so far. I don't know how she didn't get into the mainstream before What the River Knows, but I'm so glad she's here now, and I am living for these cover redesigns. I did, unfortunately, somehow get this book wet. I don't know what happened. I'm very confused, but oh well. I got back from Barnes trip. Hopefully I'm filming a... This is why I can't have nails. Because I do stuff like this. A fake nail just went flying off because I decided to use it to open my soda. It's not really the nail's fault, it's mine. We're getting to the exciting part. The romance hasn't felt too rushed in here for this just being... Again, it's such a short book for such a fun world. Yep. Okay, I need to drink this. I'm a little concerned I'm getting sick, and we're doing Christmas with my in-laws starting tomorrow, so I don't know. If I can't go, I'll just be stuck here reading, so oh no. I understand. Where's Papa? You know it!
I love being right.
I am on my lunch break, and we are officially going to finish my 100th book of the year. I may be missing 3 nails, my hair is very greasy, and I'm still in glorified pajamas. But I did brush my hair, so I think we're winning. All that to say, this won't be an aesthetically pleasing last 50 pages, but we're going to enjoy it and the chaos it brings. My camera battery is dying. That's fitting. Let me go get it. Let me go get a battery. I agree, all the girls do lose it just a little for the guy's POV. It's so cute. I love that line. We all love that line. Okay, this is the last chapter. Book number 100 is done.
I'm like really proud of myself right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Let's make this official, shall we? Go to Goodreads, update progress, and hit. I finished the book. We're ending with a 4-star. It was fun. I liked it. Now, review your 2024 year in books. Books read, 100. Pages read, 42,300. Oh my gosh. This book was so good. It kind of has a little bit of a How to Train Your Dragon vibe in a way, mixed with a murder mystery, mixed with practical magic, magical realism, kind of. I love her use of magic in books. It's so chill. It's just something that's kind of in the background that they can use. I love it. It makes sense. The dragons in here were so fun. Our characters was great. This was a great slow burn romance. I will say, even though this is a YA book, I would personally say this gets a little too spicy in a couple sections for me to recommend this to somebody under like 8. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I know plenty of people will disagree with me on that, but there's just a couple scenes where I think she goes into a few too many details, and with it being a YA book, I don't see why it had to be in there. I wish I didn't have to say that. I wish I could just recommend this book to anybody of any age, because the rest of it is very YA and very safe for everybody to read, except for like 2 scenes. So if you know how to skip that stuff, if you're comfortable with it, just go ahead. I didn't even feel the need to skip it. It was just a little too much, but it was literally like a paragraph or 2. It's not a lot. I wouldn't call it a spicy book, but it is like, it has a slight spice. It has like half a spice on the spice rating scale, you know? But to end this on a positive note, this book was great. There was a nice slow burn in here. It was wonderful. I read so many good books in this video. It's just been a great reading month besides 1 or 2, I think, which is wonderful. And I have no complaints. But honestly, most likely this will be the last book I've read and finished in this year because I've got a lot of stuff to do in the next, do we have 5 days? 4 days left of 2020? So, yeah. Last book of 2020. 4. We are not in the year 2020. I've got a lot of stuff to do in the last few days of 2024. 2024 going into 2025. I honestly feel like I'm not going to read as many books next year, but who knows? We've officially reached my reading goal, so we can officially end this video. I have a lot more planned for 2025. I am so excited to share so much of it with y'all. And let's make 2025 the best year yet. I don't know if I'll join the 100 book club again this year, but we can try. There you go. Let me know what your reading goal is for the year of 2025. I want to know. Let me know what books you're most excited for, and while you're in the comment section, you might as well hit that subscribe button real fast and like the video. That would be great. I always appreciate it. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.